Today, I'm going to share a simple technique to get AI language models to provide cleaner responses without repeating or confirming your questions in their answers. I'll demonstrate this using Anthropic's Claude models. Let me show you what I mean by heading to the Anthropic homepage and accessing Claude. When we use these AI models, we often receive responses that contain unnecessary extra content. For example, we might get comments like, I could add more details about their first day together or develop the characters further at the end of the story. When using these models in a systematic way, we don't want this additional content. We just want the direct answer or story. Here's another example. When asking about the first US presidential election, the model might start with, let me explain the first US presidential election before giving the actual answer. It might even add follow-up prompts at the bottom of its response. This extra text is exactly what we're trying to eliminate. Although we'll be using an API feature to solve this problem, I'm going to demonstrate the implementation in an integrated development environment, or IDE. This way, you'll have actual code to reference if you want to try this yourself. We'll use Python for our example, though you could achieve the same results with direct API calls. To begin, we'll need to import the Anthropic library, which is an SDK that makes it easy to interact with Claude. After setting up a client, we'll send these requests to Claude using the same model we used in the web console. The key to this technique lies in using a special API tool that we'll create. We'll start by setting up what's called an input schema, which allows us to specify that we want to receive a string as our response. This might seem like unusual terminology since we're actually specifying the output format, but the concept here is that Claude's output will serve as an input to another tool that requires structured data. An important part of this setup is specifying the tool choice argument, which ensures Claude uses our custom tool every time. The crucial elements of our API call are adding both the tool itself and this tool choice parameter. Before we can test this, we need to set up our environment properly. First, let's make sure we have the Anthropic library installed through the terminal. Then we'll need to set up an environment variable for our Anthropic API key. To get this key, you'll need to go to your API console, navigate to the Settings section, verify that you have valid billing set up, and generate a new API key. After copying your new API key, you'll set it as an environment variable in your system. This step is essential as it allows us to authenticate with the API. Once that's done, we can focus on printing out the response we receive from the model. When we get our response back, you'll notice it's structured slightly differently from standard Claude responses. We'll receive an input field that contains our result, the actual response from the model. Now let's look at what happens when we put this all together. We'll define our response type as an object with properties that match our desired response field. When we examine what we get back, what's most interesting is what's missing. There's no introductory text like "let me explain" and no follow-up questions at the end. Instead, we receive exactly the content we asked for, nothing more, nothing less. This technique is versatile and works with various types of prompts. When we change our prompt to request different information, the pattern holds true. We get just the story or just the answer without any confirmation of the request, without suggestions, without follow-up questions, and without any extra commentary. The beauty of this approach is that it helps streamline the interaction with the AI model, making the responses cleaner and more suitable for systematic use. Whether you're building an application or just wanting more direct responses, this method can help eliminate the extra fluff that often appears in Claude responses. If you'd like to support the channel, consider starting a free trial of our new design tool, which is linked in the description, and let us know what you think. We'll include all the code and diagram files in the description as well. Thank you very much for watching to the end, and please enjoy responsibly.